It begins with a memory. Takeshi remembers the flicker of childhood, moments shadowed by fear, yet lit with the bond he shared with his little sister, Ryalene. They lived with their mother and an abusive father, watching helplessly as violence became routine. Through it all, they clung to each other. But one night, everything shattered. Their father killed their mother, as if she were nothing. He disposed of her body like trash. Takeshi and Ryalene, just children, understood more than they should have. And when the man turned his rage toward Ryalene, Takeshi did the only thing he could. He pulled the trigger. Their father dropped dead, and Takeshi's childhood ended. Not long after, a virtual interrogation began. The KTAK, Earth's elite enforcement, had taken Takeshi in. Jaeger, a commanding officer, saw in the boy not just pain, but potential. He offered Takeshi a place among the protectorates, soldiers who kept order across Earth's darkest corners. But Takeshi refused. All he cared about was Ryalene's safety. Jaeger made a promise. She would be taken to safety, but Takeshi must never see her again. With a heavy heart, Takeshi agreed. Years passed. Takeshi became a weapon. Every mission, every killer, he buried his sorrow deeper. He never stopped thinking about her. And then came the mission that changed everything. A powerful Japanese crime lord was visiting the US, and KTAK wanted him gone. Takeshi led the strike. They stormed the compound. Swift and precise. He cornered the man. But before he could deliver the fatal blow, a cold touch, a gun pressed to his back. The woman behind it wore a necklace, one he hadn't seen in decades. Ryalene's necklace. She called his name. Takeshi turned. It was her. Before they could process their reunion, enemies surrounded them. Japanese guards and protectorates alike. Without hesitation, the siblings opened fire, eliminating everyone. It was them against the world now. But the world had changed. Takeshi soon learned Jaeger had lied. Ryalene was never protected. She had been abandoned, forced into the mafia world to survive. With nowhere safe, they fled into the forest, of the only place untouched by the reach of power. There, the siblings fought, healed, and made a promise. They would never leave each other again. Night fell. Armed soldiers surrounded them. Captured, they were brought to a hidden base, the stronghold of the envoys, a rebel faction fighting for equality in a world ruled by the immortal elite. The leader was Quella, a fierce warrior, a visionary. She offered them purpose. At first, Takeshi hesitated. He wanted peace. But Quell had a way of reaching even the most broken souls. Training began, in a secret cave powered by ancient tech. The siblings learned to reshape their minds. Their bodies became weapons. Takeshi doubted her until Quell defeated two men, including him, without breaking a sweat. They learned to hack reality, slipping into virtual networks to steal secrets unnoticed. Takeshi excelled. For the first time in years, he felt a sense of belonging. The envoys became his family. One day, Quell unveiled her true mission: to destroy the system of immortality. In her view, death once united humanity. Without it, the elite grew monstrous, leaving the poor to rot. She would give everyone exactly 100 years to live. To do that, they needed the casting source code. A dangerous mission, but the envoys agreed. The team infiltrated the central core. They reached the source. But something went wrong. The protectorates closed in. Takeshi was captured and brought to the same room where Jaeger had once recruited him. Interrogated and beaten, he was about to give in until Quell appeared in virtual form. Her teachings sparked within him. He fought back, broke free, and escaped. Though victorious, not everyone was pleased. Ryalene questioned Quell's motives. She feared Quell only saved Takeshi to use him. Later, by the river, Takeshi and Quell talked. She revealed that rather she had created the very technology that allowed for stack transfers. She never intended it to be abused. Her dream had become a nightmare, and now she had to set things right. They made love under the stars. The next day was their final attack. But Ryalene saw them together and walked away, bitter and betrayed. Back at camp, the protectorates struck. They used a chemical that twisted the mind, turning allies against each other. Takeshi arrived too late. The base was in ruins. Chaos and death everywhere. He fought to protect Quell and Ryalene. The women escaped in an aircraft. But as Takeshi watched them fly off, the craft exploded. His world ended again. 250 years passed. Now in the present, Takeshi and Ryalin are reunited. She claims she survived the explosion, but doesn't know what became of Quell. She assures him Kristin is safe. But something doesn't sit right. Whispers echo in Takeshi's mind, a Quell's voice urging him to question everything. He follows the feeling and finds a terrifying truth. Hemingway, the little girl, Bancroft's assistant, all of the Ryalin. She's been watching him since his resurrection. Another flashback confirms that on that aircraft, Ryalin turned on Quell and caused the explosion. She had a clone ready, which is how she lived. Worse, she betrayed the envoys to the authorities. She says she did it all for Takeshi. That Quell would have led them to death. She had been working for centuries to bring Takeshi back, tricking Bancroft, manipulating everyone. Even Ghost Walker was hers. Takeshi almost kills her, but he can't. She's no longer the sister he once knew. The woman before him is a stranger, consumed by ambition and fear. And she isn't done. Takeshi must now solve Bancroft's murder, or Ryalin will kill everyone he loves. He fakes the case, blaming Bancroft's secretary with a story that convinces the old man. Takeshi wins his freedom. Meanwhile, Kristin uncovers disturbing truths. A mysterious girl who saved their lives isn't in any database. She investigates Psychosec, a cloning facility, and finds a clone of Ryalin. But it's a trap. The real Ryalin awakens and attacks. Kristin kills her. But then, more clones come. She battles fiercely and survives. In the end, she finds a crying little girl in one of the vaults. Subscribe and hit that like button to help our channel grow. Turn the notifications on so you won't miss any of our new videos. Thanks for watching.